That's the brand new one from Dylan Scott. There's New Truck at Kicks Country 92.9, number one for New Country. 9:41, running a little behind, but we've got some important business to still attend to. That is also to give away the free tickets for Brooks and Dunn that I've been telling you about. So I'm going to go to the website and get some winners' names here in just a few minutes. But first, it's past time for actually Ask the Lawyer with Bruce L. Scheiner, attorney for the injured. You see, each week we get a question submitted by you. And if you'd like to submit a question, I'll tell you how to do that here momentarily. And we present it to Bruce L. Scheiner and his 50 years of experience with the law. And we get some answers. So why don't we get right to it today and welcome Bruce L. Scheiner, attorney for the injured. Good morning, Bruce.
Good morning, Todd. How are you doing this beautiful morning?
Doing just fine. How about you?
I'm doing excellent, thank you.
Good. And kind of eyeballing the tropics a little bit now that it's the first day of hurricane season. We do need to be prepared, you know.
I know. That's always a big concern living here in Southwest Florida.
Right. And it wouldn't be a bad idea, I would think, for most folks to review their homeowner's insurance right about now.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Make sure you have up-to-date coverage and should have replacement value coverage.
Okay. Just a little bit of early season advice as we get right into today's question, which is going a completely different direction, rather unfortunately. Are you ready for it?
I'm ready.
Okay. Today's email says, I was shopping in a large retail business when I slipped and fell on a puddle in the middle of the aisle. That day, there were multiple heavy rainstorms. I tried to soften my fall by extending my arm. However, it worsened my injuries. That happens a lot. You reach out to brace your fall and you hurt your arm too. I don't know if that's the case here, but that does happen. Anyway, the email goes on. I have a broken arm, torn ligaments in my shoulder, and a shattered knee. I will need multiple surgeries and therapy. I will also have to miss 3 months of work. The manager gave my wife a contact number for corporate headquarters. He apologized, saying I was the third person to slip where I fell in the last 2 days. Still, they are claiming they are not responsible because they had just had the roof repaired, and thus the roofing company is responsible. Can you ask the lawyer what we should do? The manager acted like they would handle all our medical bills, and now we are getting the runaround. Not exactly an original story. It happens all the time. Unfortunately, it's passing of the buck, isn't it?
It is, and unfortunately, as you said, it's a typical response from a corporate entity. And I think the answer, as always, is they need to contact an experienced personal injury lawyer as soon as possible. But in my view, the answer to the question is that, you know, the store is definitely responsible because several people had fell from the leaking roof prior to this person's fall. So they should have taken whatever steps as necessary, you know, put up a sign, cordoned off the area, prevent people from walking through the wet area so that they wouldn't be in a position to slip and fall.
That's what they should have done, especially having had other people in that same predicament. Seeing as they did not, the finger pointing has begun. Now, is it a possibility that the roofing company could be on the hook for part of this?
It is a possibility, but my prime target would be the store. And if the store felt that the roofing company didn't meet their obligations, they could bring in the roofing company.
Oh, I see. That might spread it out, but it would be up to them to make that decision. And as far as the medical bills go, I noticed that there's the possibility also of missing up to 3 months of work. That's a lot of lost income, and most of us, we can't afford that. So would the recovery, if there is one, include, you know, lost wages, pain and suffering, that kind of thing?
Yeah, the recovery would include past and future medical bills, because it looks like it's a pretty serious injury that's going to require a lot of medical attention. It would include past lost wages and the loss of future earning capacity,
Okay.
Pain and suffering and inconvenience in the past, and pain and suffering and inconvenience in the future.
A lot of things.
This person has a very substantial claim, and they need to work with an experienced personal injury lawyer so they can maximize their recovery.
A lot of things to follow up on here. And one thing I have learned from all the years we've been doing this, Bruce, and, you know, we're in our 10th year of these conversations, which I find absolutely awesome. I've learned a lot. And one thing I have learned is that stores, and for that matter, any place in public that's doing business, they have a responsibility to provide you with a safe area to do your shopping, to do your dining, to do whatever. That's on them.
You're absolutely right. You took the words right out of my mouth. The store is inviting people into their premises so they can make a profit, and they have a duty to provide a safe place to shop.
I think I have learned well over the years from you, Bruce.
You're a good student.
Thank you. And in many cases, you say it makes you feel like a student to answer these questions. A lot of times they resemble the kind of things you would have to answer in law school, right?
Absolutely. They remind me of our law school exams.
Yeah. Well, thank you for weighing in on this one. I'm sure there'll be some relief in knowing that there is a substantial recovery possible here, but it all begins with contacting a professional sooner rather than later.
I agree, Todd. And again, thanks for presenting this challenging question to me.
My pleasure. My pleasure. And thank you. Have yourself a good week, and we'll talk to you next Wednesday.
Thank you, Todd.
Okay. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up again for Bruce L. Scheiner, attorney for the injured. Now, if you have a question you'd like to submit, all you have to do is go to our station website and enter Bruce in the keyword search box. That'll take you to the right place. On the other hand, if it's something like this where you're kind of getting desperate for some answers, why do that? Why not go right to the Port Charlotte office of Associates and Bruce L. Scheiner? Call 941-743-7777, 743-7777. And tell them that Todd Matthews sent you from Kicks Country 92.9.